Alright guys, are we ready to start off today? Let me put all the stuff up here, let everybody know we're going live. I said start off today, but I guess we're ending the day, ain't we? Okay, so just got a couple more to put out here and then we'll get to it. Just got this last one to put up, guys, and then we'll get started. Almost there. Okay, so guys, like always, if you where we at right here? If you got any questions, anything like that, throw them up in chat and we'll go over them. Any questions, any tickers, whatever, just put them up in chat and we'll go over them. Uh-oh. There we go. Huh. Let me check one or two things right here. Yeah, it's showing. I guess where I upped everything on it. Yeah, we'll go over ATR. Sorry guys if the stream's a little bit lagging right now. I guess where my son's home today and he's playing those games, it might have something to do with it. But just let me know if it gets too unbearable. Maybe we can set the stuff down on it. Let me see. Make sure y'all's on the same page as me. ATR, we'll go over that one. I've also got some earnings plays for this evening. Yesterday, I ended up buying Pfizer calls, and we can see that those done well. I sold most of them on this dip, and then when it came down, I held on to one or two of them, and when it shot up, I sold somewhere right in this area here. So I ended up doing pretty good on about $500 this morning. I also bought some Discovery puts, or not puts, sorry, calls. Those are doing very well now. My plan was to pick them up, play them for earnings if it runs up, or play them before earnings if it runs up. If not, hold them until earnings. And I'm pretty sure, I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure earnings is in the morning for them. So unless this just happens to shoot up right before the end of the day, I'll be holding it for earnings. We got a couple of them we'll go over, but first let's run down any tickers you guys got. Y'all guys got. Yeah, man, this ain't looking that great right now. Let's see, I'm on a 3 minute. Let me pull back. Oh, yeah. See how on this, uh, when it broke under the 200 back here, you can see it doubled or triple topped, whatever you want to call it there. It broke under the 200, and since then, it's been staying pretty true to the 50-day, that green 50-day line. Every time it reaches up to the 200, it gets rejected. So until this can break over that 200, it's a dead cat. I mean, it's just going to continue down. If I was still in this, I would cut my losses if it was me, because it's not showing any signs of a reversal. Every time it even tries to start consolidating, it just sells off. Yeah, this just ain't looking good. And what you can do is you can put an alert on it, and if it starts to make ground, you can jump back in and make that money back if you want to. But yeah, that's a rough one. It's not looking too good. What's the 4 hour look like? Well, if this will let me on it. Yeah, 4 hours still the same too. If we turn off the drawings here, you can see how it's getting rejected every time it comes up to the 50 or 200. Tough break if you're in that one, man. Let's see what else we got. Let me check something real quick. I just want to make sure, see how this is doing. Okay. It's not showing me anything. Oh well. Anyways. Yeah, tough break on that one, man. What else do we have here? So for earnings itself, if we come out to browser, it's not going to show me a browser. Let me it's not showing me a thing for the browser. There we go. About time. So if we come up here and we look at earnings, the main ones we want to watch out for, if it would show them to me. Right, this is where yeah, there we go. I don't know, my computer's acting a little funny today. Okay, I'll be looking at Activision, and that may be all in the aftermarket. We'll have to look at a couple of those. And then in the morning, CVS, Discovery, and Norwegian Cruise Line here. Those are the ones I'll be playing. And then tomorrow I'll be looking at Roku, Skills, Qualcomm, Marathon, Oil. What else we got here? Fastly probably. And maybe Energy Transfer. I'm not really sure. I know that they had a good spike, but I think they're down right now. And then for Thursday, I'll be looking at Moderna, Viacom, CBS, Uber of the Evening, Penn, Square, Airbnb. All those will be doing good. And then the last day is DraftKings, Coinbase, and Exela. So those are the main ones we're looking for. So I've already got my discovery calls. So I'll be looking at Activision. Let's take a look at Activision, see what it's doing right now. So Activision is sold off, but I actually think that for earnings, Activision is probably going to do pretty good. And then you have Christmas coming up, so the outlook and stuff be doing good. And it's sold off right now. I mean, it is pretty damn low. So I can't imagine this tanking to the point to where I couldn't get out before I lost too much money by in the morning. So if we're looking at options and plays on this one, what I'd be going for is so I'll probably just go out to the next week here, calls, and I don't want to pay too much money just in case it does go the other way. And if this one does good, watch this one shoot up because it's been selling off where they had that bad press. Well, I mean, the company did some pretty messed up stuff or allowed some messed up stuff going on. But they've changed all the leaders in place and stuff like that, new bosses. But if this one does good, this one's going to shoot up. I could easily see it going back to the high 80s, like that. But we just don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it does. That would be right in this area here. So since we know that, and we know that that would be, what, about a $10 jump? Yeah, we could do something around this 80, 81 area. Probably 80 to 82 area. That would be your best bet on that. And it looks like the best volume between those is this 82. A good way to check volume is go out to the next big day, which in this case is the 19th, and see what's being played there. It looks like the 81 is really good. 82.5, which we didn't have that choice on the last one, so it'd have to be 82. And then 85. So let's see what 85 looks on it. Yeah, 85 don't seem to be a bad one on this one, but the delta's really low on it, so I'm not going to play that one. I'll play probably I like one of the 80s and probably two of the, where did I see that? 82. So that's probably what I'm going to play on this one, and you'll see me pick those up right before the end of the day. If you're interested in Discovery, we'll take a look at it real quick. We can see that it's also sold off right now. Any good news should have this one at least break up over the 200, and you're looking at a couple of dollar run at least. So it'd be nice if it took off more than that, but it's just hard. It's hard to tell if people are ready to come back into this stock. It's been, as far as the business goes, it's been doing pretty decent, but people are scared of it the way it's sold off. Yeah, just close to the money on this one on the 19th. The 25 and the 27.5 are your best bets on this one. I may, even the way this is looking, I may pick up another call before the end of the day for this 27.5, just because they're so cheap. And you got to remember on these too, your gamma right here, you see how that's 9 cents. For every dollar this raises, your delta will raise 9 cents too. So it just needs to go up $1 to 25.70, and you'll see this one in the 20s. It goes up one more dollar, you'll see it close to 40. So, you know, to each his own. What's happening, Struck? Breaker, buddy. Good, buddy. Prague. Yes, let's look at Prague. Ooh, I didn't know that. He said it recovered 10% today. Let's take a look at it. The 4 hours looking good. Yeah, I mean it's starting. What I like about it is it's stair stepping up. It's crossed over the 15. It's crossed over the 50. Your next thing is to get that. And what I like about this setup is by the time you get the 15 and the 50 cross, your price is going to be right there at the 200, getting ready to cross or just have crossed. That is going to be a great setup if you can get that separation in between them. Yeah, the 4 hour is looking pretty decent on it. You can see how it's still trending up. Yeah, I mean, this is looking like a nice setup. I would still wait to make sure you get a clear bounce off this 50 if you're thinking about playing it. To be honest with you, I would actually wait until you got the 15 over 50 cross. But I mean, if you're more riskier type of player, then you could jump in now. I mean, it's looking pretty decent. I just like to wait for that extra bit of confirmation. Um, but yeah, man, that's looking good. I mean, look, it's trending right up that 15. Perfect trend line. I mean, we can put a trend line straight on it from all the way back here. Oh, well, never mind. I have my drawings turned off on it. So you can see how it's sticking perfect right with that trend. Just like that. Just keep that one in there and do it like that. So yeah, it's looking really good. And what's good about it here at this 15 is we've got a good support here. So it's more than likely probably going to bounce here and keep on. We just have to wait and see if there's any follow through on it. We got good volume. Um, the float's not, where is my float? That's not the right float. Yeah, the float's not too high. I like, I like the way this is continuing to set up. I'll be honest with you, I'm sold out of it right now. But if it continues to break up over these, I'll probably jump back in. So let's put this on the watch list. Another one for in the morning, guys, is Norwegian. I think is maybe this. No. What was it? NCLH? Maybe? Yes, there it is. NCLH. We can see we're getting a good break. This is another one I'm going to play for tomorrow, but I'm not going in deep. I'm only going to get one call. As a matter of fact, it looks like right now is the time to jump in because it's bouncing. So if I'm going to play it, I'm just going to go out to the 12. And I'm just going to get the next closest one here. That's not a bad deal neither. It's cheaper. There's not much of a difference in delta between this and that one. And I could grab two of these for the price of one of the 27s. How high would I have to go to get to 28? Not high at all. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right there. I'm going to play this 28. Give me 1 second and let me go ahead and pick that up since we're talking about it. If y'all don't mind. Ooh, my Disca's up really good, man. Hell yeah, I'm up 30% on my Disca calls right now. That's a Discovery, by the way. Shrug, didn't you play Discovery too, or are you just watching it? Let me know and I'll check it as soon as I get done buying these. That's I said November 12th out to the 28th. Is that right? Oh, I thought it said 32. It's 52. That's fine. So pick up two of these. It didn't play, so I want it now, though. Okay, there it went. No, it just purchased one. That's alright, I'll give it a second, see if it'll purchase the other one, too. So I'm in on that right now, too. I think overall, my reasoning behind it is this whole last quarter, it's been trending up. We've even had one good spike. It's pretty much kept the trend. We are near support. It has good sentiment on it. Even the implied volatility, which is a good way to find out make it market maker sentiment. If I could speak right, me know English so well. Usually it's not this high unless they're expecting something. Now, if they was expecting something to go wild, it'd be even higher. It should be in the hundreds. But the fact that it's not between like 20 something and 40 something, well 30 something, means that they're expecting it to do at least a little something. Let's see if the puts are the same. Yeah, see, so they don't even not sure which way it's going to go. It's just as high either way. What is Skills, guys, is tomorrow, I think, of the evening. This is going to be one to watch, and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts getting up there tomorrow. So watch this one. I'm not going to play it this evening. I'm going to wait until in the morning, see what it does. That way, if it continues to sell off, I can get my call options cheaper. But I'm going to be bullish on this for earnings. But I'm not going to hold long after earnings because for some reason people do not hold this stock. They just play it. You can see every time it shoots up, let's come back here in the past. Every time it shoots up, it comes down. Shoots up, comes down. You can even see, yeah, see every time it shoots up, it comes down. But Skills, the company itself, is actually a decent company. And I think most people consider this undervalued. So most analysts and stuff like that. Here until something breaks. Oh, yeah. Guys, y'all got anything you want me to look at? Or you just want me to start running down some of these other plays? Let's take a look at the watch list and see how it's doing overall. Guys, did y'all see Carr this morning? I had this on my, especially if y'all remember, well, no, I didn't. I guess if you was in Discord, you might have heard me. But I had this on my watch list, my earnings watch list for this week. And I guess just for the last couple of days, I've been busy, running kids to play practice and things like that. I've just not paid no attention to it. But let me show you this. It started off this morning before earnings, or maybe earnings. Yeah, I'm pretty sure earnings was today. At 183. It got as high as $545. At one time, the options on this, the ones nearest to the end of money, were 20,000%. I've never seen options that high, 20,000%. That is crazy. I didn't get to play this though. Instead, I bought puts on the way down and made about 150%. They was cheap puts, so it wasn't like I made a bunch on them. UA had earnings. This was another one that was on my earnings watch list. If I'd been paying attention, I could have bought calls yesterday evening. But guys, this is the reason why it's important to watch these watch lists that you make yourself, because those were two really good plays I missed out on. I mean, this one right here started out at $19 and went as high as $22. And I'm pretty sure the delta on them were around $50, so that would have been $100 per call. $100 per call right there. Mara and Hut both still running, still doing good. I ended up buying back into Mara yesterday, and this one I'm going to hold until it breaks this 50 day. Hut is doing good. Oh man, did y'all see OCGN? I was telling people to watch this, that today, even if it gets good news, it's going back down. This stock is it stays true to the word of buy the rumor, sell the news. This stock runs on news and sells off, runs on rumor and sells off just as soon as the news is reported on it. And sure enough, that's what you see right here. It ran up. We was able this last time we bought in a day or two ahead of time. It was on the Monday, I think it was, which was either this day or this day. We played this run up, sold that morning, and then I was told, hey, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we played the run up. Let me find it again here. So we played this run up, sold off, and then we bought back here. There was somebody in Discord reminded me that there was another news catalyst coming up. So we ended up buying back in and ended up, by the time we sold off, it was right around through there. So I think I ended up with like 63% on it. So it wasn't a bad play. It was pretty decent. Okay, let's see here. INTC and a quick recap. Yeah, it's been a hell of a morning or two. We've got some pretty good little plays. I ended up buying in on, what was it? Disca yesterday, Discovery, which is doing pretty good now. I'm up probably about 35-40% right now. Yeah, about almost 35% right now on it. I will be, and like I said, unless it just shoots up by the end of the day, I'll be playing this one for earnings. I also jumped into just a minute ago NCLH, Norwegian. Be playing this one for earnings too. I went to the 28 strike. There was something else we mentioned there too that we might play before the end of the day. I'll have to look and see what it was for sure. But that's pretty much it. I think you're caught up from there. INTC. I mean, we talked about some of the plays that we had already played, but that was about it. This is looking good, man. I mean, it's still coming up. It's doing its healthy pullbacks and bounces. It's looking good. I think you made a wise choice to buy in when you did. It was a little bit on the riskier play because I hadn't confirmed yet, but yeah, you made a wise choice on it. It's my guess is that within this week to next week, you're going to see 85% of this call back up. That's what I think, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. If we're talking about, if we do it on the fib, I go backwards on that. No, I did it right. So we're talking about getting to 78%. So you're talking around 54, 56 by the end of this week to the end of next week. That would be my guess on it. It's got that nice J shape. It 3 stages of reversal: the sell-off, the consolidation, and now the pullback or the bounce. Yeah, I think this is looking really good, man. It's actually to the point where if you was waiting on confirmation, you got it. Here it is. It's up over the 200. It's bounced, even confirmed it off of the 200 bounce. So, I mean, you can't ask for a better setup than this. It's looking really good. Yeah, I think you made a smart choice by buying in on that. AMC too, me and Shrug was talking earlier. This has a really nice setup. I'm not sure about holding it over the weekend, but it does have earnings on the 8th, I think it is. So, I mean, guys, the setup is there. You have the 15 over 50 separation. You have it bouncing off of that 15 and 50 up. It did cross under it once, but quickly regained it. I mean, it's about as good a setup as you're going to get. And I wouldn't look for this to sell off any, at least until you reach about 40, 41. Then you might see a decent little healthy pullback, kind of something similar to what you've seen right here. That would be my guess just from the way it's acted before in the past. It usually, AMC is famous for hitting those $10 marks, you know, the 40, the 50, the 60, pulling back just a little bit and then going on a run again. So just, you know, watch those key areas, watch what you're doing. But I think this one is in play right now. I think this one's looking really good. What else we got here? BBIG, we haven't talked about it yet today. It got its nice little bounce off support. BBIG, if you can say one thing about it, it holds support, man. It really does. There's some loyal people in on this. I mean, look at that. Every time it comes up against support, it bounces. The only question is, does it have another one? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's got some more news dates coming up, so we'll just have to see if one of those news dates can break it. If not, this ain't going to do much. I mean, you need a catalyst in order to form a bull run, in order to form a rally. Without that catalyst, it just won't rally and form the squeeze. So we've got a few more catalysts coming up to see if that'll cause it, and we'll just have to wait and see how it goes from there. It really needs to push above this trend line here. That's what we need to see. Okay, what do you got here? Thoughts on DraftKings? I'm bullish on it, and we'll go over the chart here. I will be playing it for earnings too. IGC, I'm pretty sure that's one I've went over. It might have even been on yesterday's watch list. I can't remember. Okay, yeah, let's go over it. So, like I was showing them earlier, let me find it here. DraftKings is going to be before open on Friday. So if you want to play it for earnings, the best time would be to get them the evening before on Thursday. That way you get in before the volatility hits and see how that goes. Unless you just want to try to swing or day trade it the next morning. You're how can I say it? It's less riskier to do it like that, but you might miss the meat of the trade doing that. So it's kind of like, risk versus reward. How early do you want in? The chart on DraftKings, let me bring you over to it. The chart on DraftKings is actually looking good for earnings because you don't want one to spike up right before earnings. Because if it misses, it has a long way to fall. I usually like them if they will either move up a little bit or stay kind of lower. That way, if you're in it, you get in it before the night before. You and if it misses, you can get out quick enough to where you don't lose the whole contract. There's some if it's up there and it misses, they drop $10-15 in no time, and you're out every bit of your money. You can't salvage any of it. You just gotta hope that it spikes up in the next day or two. But DraftKings overall, I do know that people like Kathy Wood are bullish on it. They've also bought more in anticipation for earnings. DraftKings has had a lot of good news here recently. This quarter has been very profitable for it. But what we got to remember with earnings is it doesn't matter if a company makes money or not. That's not what earnings are. There's companies out there that are in the negative that do bull runs on earnings. And it's all because, are you meeting expectations? So you'll have a number of analysts analyze the stock, give out a number, then they take the medium of that number, and that's what they're expected to beat. Now, EPS is good, but in my opinion, from what I've watched, the revenue plus outlook will trump everything else. If you have a stock that has a good outlook, good earnings outlooks coming up, projects coming up, things like that, then it made money this last quarter, it ain't going to matter what that EPS is. It ain't going to matter. A lot of times, if it has a good enough outlook, it'll even trump revenue. So the two main things I look out is outlook and revenue. So as DraftKings gets closer to the day, we'll look at it. I would like to see it climb up just a little bit if we're looking at the 15-minute. Yeah, see, I'd like to see it probably above the 50-day here. But, I mean, if it stays down, that's all the fine to me because I'm still going to be bullish on it for earnings. I need to look and see what the exacted expectations are because I'm not 100% on that. If they're too wild, then you don't want to play it because, you know, it's guaranteed to miss. But you can see here it's oversold. The MACD's turning bullish. So this is turning around on it. The other one was IGC. Nice little pop-up. How much did it run? About 20, 30 cents. Almost 40 cents. Yeah, I mean, would I play this right now? No, I would wait for this pullback. Let's look at the 3-minute here. I'd wait for this pullback to the 50, see if it bounces. If it bounces there, you'd probably be good to play this one. If it don't, this was just a nice little run up and sell off, and that's all it was. But I don't know. Was this some type of merger? I don't remember. I remember having this on the list, but I can't remember why it was on the list. Is it a merger play or maybe a SPAC or something? But you can see here, the reason why it spiked up right there is it's one big number. Well, that's almost 3 million somebody bought there, or I'd say the majority of it was one person. But yeah, I would watch for this bounce right here. As a matter of fact, let's see what I'm gonna set an alert for right here. Sharp rise, sharp fall. If we're above that, and then I'm gonna set one right here for below that. That way, if it reaches there and it goes below it to bounce, I can catch it. But if it bounces here and continues up, I can catch it before it breaks resistance here. Guys, too, the way everything's going with this infrastructure bill, things like that, start watching the clean energy spaces. Clean Sparks 1, they do like cleaner energy type stuff for somebody else, I don't know. Cleaner energy stuff for like coin mining, like Bitcoin mining, things like that. Klein is another one. But there's one of the biggest portions of that infrastructure bill has to do with clean energy, things like that. Plus, we just got done with what is it, G20, how many other countries are involved right now? That summit, and it's all about clean energy, things like that. How we going to lower emissions? So that stuff is in the air right now. Watch those areas. Let's see, Corsair Gaming. Ain't that this evening too? Let me check real quick and see. No, Corsair was this morning before open. And we can see that it ran up and then sold right off, which is what we said the other day it would probably do. Yeah, I figured it would do good for earnings and then sell right off quickly after. I mean, you might see it still spike up. I mean, you could probably get $1 or $2 out of this if you want to play options, or if you want to hold long, it might go up a few dollars over a week or two. But for me, this play is dead unless it starts making some moves. What else did we have that we could look at? See, we got Marathon and Marathon Oil Corporation. I always get these two mixed up. MRO, which one's that? That's Marathon Oil. And And then if we type in MARA, so what would the other one be? The digital, maybe? No, that's not sure. Anyways, this one is coming out Marathon Oil come out after close Wednesday. I'll look for this one to do pretty good, mainly because oil is up right now. I'm pretty sure Shrug was telling me that. Because of the hurricane and other things that has happened, oil prices has been up for at least since the end of August, beginning of September, which would make this quarter very profitable for them, and the outlook is going to be good on it. So this one, it will be one to play for tomorrow evening. Watch this one to start probably making moves starting tomorrow. We can already see it's up a little bit. A lot. Let's see, it's up roughly about $4, $5. But we can see the hesitation right around this area. It doesn't want to go higher until after earnings. It's waiting to see. This has been for the last 2-3 weeks-ish. Now, let's see. We meant Activision was the other one. I was trying to remember what it was. Activision. That's the other one that I'm looking to play for tomorrow. It has earnings, I think, after the bell, is it? Yeah, after the bell today, it has earnings. I think it's going to go up, and the good thing about this one is it won't have far to drop if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, guys, take a look at this since I was just looking at them. Norwegian is continuing to climb, and it will into the after hours until we see what earnings is. People are bullish on it. Disca doing the same thing. We can see that it's up. It keeps hitting this. Keeps hitting this resistance right around there. Let's see. AHT. Alzheimer's drug. That's what it was, AGC. I couldn't remember what that was. Yes, I remember now. They had a study about cannabis Alzheimer's. Yes, okay, thank you for that. I think I put that article up on Twitter too, guys, if you guys wanted to look at it. See, AHT, when you think the stock is going up because of earnings. Which one are you talking about, Dante Smith? When you say the stock is going up for earnings, we talked about a couple of them there. Yeah, I do put options on earnings if I think it's going to go the other way. I did it for this last Robinhood earnings. I picked up put options on that one. So it really just depends on, what you believe the stock's going to do. If you think it'll go the other way, grab your puts, buy in like that. Guys, the options are the greatest way to make money going either way, especially when you know there's a catalyst coming up. Use them however you see fit. Make your money wherever you can. Coin, we can do coin too. So AHT, coin, just in general, okay. Yeah, with the put options, yeah. If I think it's going to go up, that's what I ended up doing on car. I just missed the run up, so I ended up buying puts on the way back down. If you see a stock crashing, yeah, buy puts on it. And you don't even have to crash all the way out. Let me show you. with Tesla this morning. I know Tesla's not earnings, but it had a good setup. It's the reason why I wanted to mention it. So if we go to the 3-minute here, you see how this double topped, and it don't have to come all the way down here, but it double topped, showing that it was kept buttoned up against resistance. If you want to be honest about it, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tries before it got rejected and come down. So what we did is we seen that rejection. I bought the first option right here when it went under the 15, mainly because I'd been watching this. I'd seen the double top. I bought my second one when it popped underneath the 50, and then bought the last one when it got rejected the second time, right here. And ended up selling all but one down on this drop, and then sold the last one on this drop here. Now, depends on how this does. If this comes back up tomorrow and gets rejected against this line, that will be a triple top. This will come back down. So watch Tesla again tomorrow, guys. But those setups is what you want to do. You want to watch for, so like if it run up during earnings and you see it starting to come back down and crossing these EMA lines, play them to that. We know that if it crosses under this, the next one's the 50. So then we can buy in here and we can watch for that 50. If it bounces at that 50, get out. If it looks like it's going to get rejected and fall under, stay into the 200 and do the same thing at the 200. If it bounces at that 200, get out. If it falls under, look for the retest. If it gets rejected, you stay in. That's all I do with technical analysis. I hardly ever play a play without some type of confirmation in it. Earnings is probably one of the riskiest things I do because I really don't know which way it's going to go. But I'll plan my entries and exits to those. Do you got candy for the whole class? Alright, so I've got a couple right here. Let's run those down. Okay, so let's start running down some stocks. Now we got a few here. AHT, this is energy, ain't it? No, this is like a, is it housing finances or something? Let's see. Real estate investment, yes, a REIT. Guys, REITs are awesome because they pay out dividends much more. A REIT exists just to pay out dividends. Let's see here. Which one is it on? Look at these dividends. They pay out. Has this one not paid out in a while, or is this just low? But anyways, you see it was the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, the 12th. Some of them pay out every month. And for each one of those, they paid out 6 cents to 12 cents every share that you have. But if we're talking about just the stock itself, it's climbing. It's following the 50. We've had a test of the 200 once or twice here. Yeah, the thing about this one is you're not going to know if you get a full break into it, like if it's time to fully get out or not until it breaks under the 50-day, unless you just want to play each 50 break. Like when it pops up here, get in, sell when you hit the first 50. When it comes back over, buy in. But that's a lot if you're doing that. The best thing to do on something like this would be to get in when you first see it pop up. Right, as long as it stays above that 200, ride it as long as it will. When you're in profit and you're in a good enough profit, that's when you would sell when it broke under the 50. Until then, your stop loss would be under the 200. Because it has some pretty wild swings here. It would be hard to play it just for it to drop under the first time it fell under the 50. So when you play a stock like this, you get in and you're pretty much on stop loss mode until it starts getting into decent profit. So you get out whenever it crosses under the 200. So in this case, where it stayed above the 200, you're fine. And then once you get a few dollars up and you think you're in good profit, that's when you play it when it breaks under the 50. But yeah, I mean, it's climbing right now. Doesn't look too bad. Here's your thing though. See how it's trading sideways? You're more than likely not going to see a break above 1741. Just because it hasn't in so long. The last time it did was back July. This one might be a good candidate for that sideways options trading I was doing with GE last week. Yeah. So, I mean, really, if it was me, which, like I said, I'm not sure this is paying out dividends right now, but that would be the way to play this one, would be for that dividend, hold it, because that's what you want out of a REIT. You want a stock that trades sideways, and you, like I said, you can play those sideways option strats, iron condor, whatever, and then collect the dividends as it goes on. That'd be the way to play that one. Coin. Coin, I think, is going to do really good for earnings, but to be honest with you, you might be better off playing it up into earnings and not chancing the actual earnings, because remember, it's not about if the company did good or not, it's about whether or not it can beat expectations. Give me 1 second. So this one might be one to get in, play it up until earnings, which is Friday morning, and then get out. Unless you're just really sure of yourself and sure of the stock itself, then you can hope for earnings. But I think this one's going back up to, where was it at back here, man? No. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, I think this one's going back to 400 very soon. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. The business model is solid. It's been doing great. People are starting to get bullish on it again. It just has a lot of good things going on about it right now. So, sorry about that. I was checking something. I think that it's going to do good. If you're looking for an entry point on it, it looks like the best you're going to get right now is one of these bounces off the 50-day. Because I seriously doubt before it hits earning it's going to come back and touch this 200. But this one, guys, it's going to do like Tesla did. You're going to see this one take off. And if earnings is good, you're just going to see it go parabolic for a week or two. This one's going to, those people that's been bag holding since the IPO is about to get their money back, in my opinion. We did BBIG in Prague, so we'll do those last. OLB. Now this was on the run up. I guess if you'd asked me, is there any more out of this? Man, that's a touch and go. You'd have to play it for the 50 now if you're still in it. If you see a bounce here at this 50-day, you're good. But once you see it break under that, especially if you see it confirmed with like a retest and rejection or a really good candle underneath it, this one's done. The 50 days, its last hope. It needs to bounce here or it's probably going to be a dead cat. Now, if it does bounce here, you want to watch these key areas between 1198 and 1248. I kind of put them in a box because of how long the wicks are. If you look at the 3-minute here, even the 3-minute has a long wicks. But that seems to be the good rejection point is, the candles are not getting any higher then 11.98, and the wicks are pretty much bottoming out at or topping out at 12.48. So watch that area. If it gets rejected there, you might want to think about lowering your position or cashing out altogether. But it'll probably retest that area a couple of times like it did here if it makes it back up there. You'll see it test, get rejected, come back down, test it again. So you'll probably have one or two chances to see if it's going to break over. But again, you see how this 50 or 15-day followed it? If you're watching it, you'll know when to get out because you'll have a clear break below it like you did here. See how these were just wicks, but they pulled back up? This is a clear break below it. CRTX. It's looking decent today. This is a 3-minute now, but see how it's bouncing off of here? As long as this don't form a shoulder, which would be kind of a funky head and shoulder, but you're probably good here. You want to see this one come up to at least around this 770-ish mark in order for it probably not to be a good head and shoulders. It'd be nice if it went ahead and came up and broke over that right there. That'd be your resistance area around 1825. If it done that, you're looking really good. What catalyst is this running on right now? Is it earnings or news? Yeah, see right here, look. You have the pop-up, you have the 15/50 split with damn good volume. You have the pop-up over the 200, the retest, it's bouncing. You have the MACD is bullish as hell. The RSI is a little overbought right now, which might indicate it needs to cool off soon, but you'll probably see that in the after hours. This is looking really nice setup right now. Does this one have options? Yes, it does. I may play this. Give me just a second. What are we looking at? Won't be much to 21, so we can go. The 19th is the closest we got. Man, that looks nice. Do you know why this is running? Thoughts on Roku? I'm bullish on Roku. I like it. We can go over the chart here too on it. Yeah, OCGN. I mean, that was going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. But PFE is. Did you say it's still heading down, or it's heading down now? Because I really thought it would have done really good on that news, which I know it did. I know it popped up. I just ain't seen it in the last 15, 20 minutes or so. ARTL DGNS. We're getting close to the end of the day, but I want to come back and look at this one because you know what? Instead of playing that one for options, let's just pick up some shares in it. CRTX. So I could pick up 10 or 20 shares until tomorrow and then see how it does and pick up more if I want in more. It's got a clear bounce there. Yeah, so that one, I could do that, and that way I won't have to worry about what it's going to do since I don't know what the catalyst is running on. We're just going on just technicals here. Alright, so I'm going to pick up 15 now. And then if it does good, well, okay, now it's making me want to wait. So give me just a second. I'm going to see what it does here. We'll come back to it. So Roku. Roku, I really like Roku. You can see I've been watching it here for a while. These run-ups and run-downs. The only thing I'm worried about with Roku is the one thing that they look at a lot with these type of stocks is is it growth? Are they growing in memberships quarter over quarter? That almost matters more than anything else with this pay for service type business model. I don't know the numbers on Roku. I don't know if they have been doing good on growing. I know a lot of people I know use it with the the Roku Live and stuff, and they've cut the cord. They're not getting DirecTV or nothing no more, so they bought into Roku. So I would think that it's went up just from hearing people talk in chat rooms and Twitter and my personal life. A lot more people are getting more involved into it, cutting that cord, doing things like that. But I would also assume revenue would be pretty good. But I just don't know. So pretty much with sentiment and things like that is all I got to go on. I think sentiment is overall almost neutral on it. We can look at the implied volatility. Looks like implied volatility is high, so they're expecting a big jump one way or the other on earnings. But overall, I think I'm going to play this one for earnings beat. I'll tell you what. Let me look up a couple of things, see if I can find a little bit more, and we'll go back over this one tomorrow. And I'll see if I can find out what the expected EPS and revenue and stuff like it is, and run some numbers and see if it's feasible for them to beat it or not. Oh man, what was that? I can't even read my own handwriting. ATAR, ARTL. Yeah, this one looks nice. It's bouncing off that 200. It's kind of like bull flagging out right now. We have a symmetrical triangle if we're looking here. You know what? I like this play better on it. So just look for the breakout either way on that is the way I'd play that one, but it's looking pretty good. If it breaks out to the top, of course, it's going to be bullish. If it breaks out to the bottom, look for it to break below that 200 retest and see what it's going to do. DGNS. It's looking good too. I mean, it's popped up over the 50. We're starting to get that split. It's priced over 200. We do have this hesitation candles here though. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go bullish until at least the after hours. Whether or not it can stay up, I mean, those are some pretty big hesitation candles going either way. But be my guess, as long as it stays bullish until the after hours, you're probably looking good. But yeah, this one's looking good too. CRTX, what did it ever do? Yeah, it's still just bouncing back and forth, ain't it? Alright, so I'll go ahead and buy in and we'll see what it does. Alright guys, let's see if you appreciate what I'm doing. Did I hit that wrong? ARTL? If you appreciate what I'm doing, please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. It helps me out with YouTube's algorithm. It also gets me out in front of more eyes. Also, check me out on Twitter. I post watch lists, charts, news, everything. It's a great place to keep up with stocks and the community in general. And guys, we'll call it a day here. Again, what I'm playing is bought the CRTX. I'm playing Disca Calls and NCLH, but I did not end up buying the Yeah, Mara's looking really good. I didn't end up buying Activision. So, I guess if it looks good tomorrow, we'll end up playing that one. Yeah, Mara's just killing it. It's looking really good. Again, I'll be playing this one until we get a clear break under the 50-day. But guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. And we'll catch you tomorrow. You have a great day. Bye.